calls himself Dave, but I know him as he who smells of car trips, open canyons, ice cream, a high-pitched sweet smell that he calls Amanda, a low-bass and computer plastic smell that he calls the office, and a brown bottle sticky floor place that he says is where people go to have good nights, but bad mornings. Dave is my favorite because he's asking me my favorite question. Who's a good boy? With a voice that sounds like melting ice cream. I do what I always do when Dave asks me this question. I sit with my focus trained on him. I do this so that Dave knows that I'm listening, and every time he asks the same question without answering, I show more excitement and pretend like I don't already know what the answer is. This is my favorite game because Dave always bounces his tennis ball voice into an ecstatic "you are," and then I wag my tail until everything shakes, and I feel the pat of his happy hands and the click of my leash. We always play this game before walk time. I love walk time! But Dave hasn't been on walk time with me since he stopped smelling high-pitched and sweet or low-bass and plastic. He still smells kind of like brown bottle bad mornings. Yesterday, when I licked Dave's hands, all I could taste was a fist, like he couldn't stop holding on to something. He smiled at me, but it looked more like bared teeth, like he was fighting something that I couldn't see. I tried to get him to play our favorite game, but he just looked past me. But this morning, when Dave came back inside, he smelled like somewhere new. It smelled like an old couch, new ideas, and healing. Dave says that he needed to go somewhere because he's been hurting. I think he called it therapy. I don't know what that means, but I think I heard a tennis ball bounce its way back into Dave's footsteps, so I decided to stand in front of him and wag my tail until everything shook. But suddenly, Dave's eyes became ocean cloud storms and his lips turned into waves. He brought his hands up to try and stop the flood, but he couldn't stop his shoulders from turning into tucked tails, and he couldn't stop himself from sinking to the floor. I wished my everything that I could tell Dave that he is a good boy, but I can't. So I decided to sit beside him, because Dave says that the best thing for a storm-cold evening is something warm to wake up next to. So I decided to sit next to him until his storm passed, until his shaking stopped, until I felt him pat me, until I heard him say, "Who's a good boy?" Even though it sounded more like, "I'm sorry. I don't deserve you. We're going to make it. I promise. I love you. I love you. I love you."